Check 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Testing the microphone. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be and whatever time of day it is. I hope you are ready to learn a little bit about household chores. Now, I've done lessons similar to this in the past. I think I've done one on cleaning. I think I did one on errands and chores 4 or 5 years ago, but this one's a little different. I always like to make my English lessons just a little bit different. By the way, I think I started the lesson wrong. Normally there's a timer here, right? And I say we'll start in so many seconds. I seem to have forgotten that. So I think if everything's working, I think we'll just get started. How does that sound? It looks like everything's working properly. I should say hi to a bunch of people in a bit, but let's get started. Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about household chores. We all live in houses and apartments, and there's certain things you need to do every day or every week or every month so that you can live nicely, so that things are clean and tidy, so that things are well maintained. That might be a new phrase for you. You want to keep things well maintained so that they work properly. You want to clean your sink. You want to have a nice very clean fridge where you keep your food. Refrigerator, by the way, is the longer version of that word. But yeah, welcome to this English lesson about household chores. I think you will enjoy it. It will be very useful English vocabulary for you. Sometimes when I do these types of lessons, they become very popular because people are eager to learn the words and phrases they need to talk about things like household chores. So once again, welcome to this English lesson about household chores. Do you want to say hi to Wanda and Elias? My pronunciation skills aren't super good this morning. Rosalia Wawan Mode Eggs is here. Good to see you, Mode Eggs. Nice crown beside your name. Very cool. Samira Razol. Let me get on my other screen here and see who else is here. Nightbot is, of course, here. Mode says, hey, I'm ready to learn a little bit of English with the best teacher in the world. Oh, is the best teacher coming? I didn't know that. The best teacher in the world is going to come in a moment, I guess. That's what Mode said. So I'll look forward to seeing the best teacher in the world show up. Freddie Wolf says, hi, Mode. Bonjour à toi. Saying hi to people. Very cool. And Marwanto saying hello as well. Unsel is here. Hi, Unsel. Good to see you. Hey, folks. I want to just say a couple things. One, if you have questions during this lesson, feel free to ask that question using the form in the chat. Nightbot will link a little form that you can use. Do ask each other questions. Everyone in the chat is a teacher as well in some way. Whenever you learn a language, you also automatically become a little bit like a teacher of that language. So if you know the answer and you can help people, please do that. Let me see here. Let me check one thing in the kitchen and I'll be right back. I think I forgot something. I went far away, but I hope you guys couldn't hear me coughing. I had a little bit of a cough there. So I'm feeling great. I don't know why I still cough a little bit every once in a while. Oh, and as well, if you're a member, you can type !link and Nightbot will give you the link to the form that you can use to ask questions. Hey, it looks pretty funny, doesn't it, when I'm not sitting in my chair? Yeah. Anyways, let's get this lesson started. Mopping floors. So I decided to use the ing form of all of these words so that you can hear phrases using that form. So when you use the ing form, you can say things like, I like mopping floors, or mopping floors isn't my favorite thing. You could even flip it and use it as the subject of the sentence. But let's talk about mopping floors. Mopping floors is something you do with a mop, and you need a pail or bucket as well and some soapy water when a floor isn't very clean. And this should, of course, be like a hardwood floor or a cement floor or a linoleum floor, you don't want to mop your rug. If you have carpet in a room, you certainly don't want to mop it, but you would use a mop, and you would use that mop to mop your floor to get it all nice and clean and to make it smell amazing. And then, of course, there's sweeping floors. Now, I looked at this picture after I chose it, and I thought the broom looks a little funny. I'm actually wondering if this picture was generated by AI. I get all my pictures from a website where I pay a licensing fee, and I'm wondering if, because normally a broom doesn't have a funny little bend in the end. But anyways, you sweep a floor with a broom. One of the rare situations in English, there's no verb to broom. That doesn't exist. But if you needed to sweep your floor, you would need to use a broom. Sweeping floors is a good thing to do when there's dust on the floor, when there's maybe after eating, there's some dry food on the floor that you need to sweep up, and then sweeping the floor is always a good idea to get it nice and clean. Cleaning bathrooms. This is one of my least favorite things to do. If I'm given a choice between cleaning the kitchen or sweeping the floor or mopping the floor, or cleaning bathrooms, I would say cleaning bathrooms is my least favorite thing to do. I don't often enjoy cleaning bathrooms. For some reason, the English word we would use is gross, like not pleasant. But here you can see this person is cleaning the bathroom. They're cleaning the faucet right now to get it nice and clean. And you might use words like spotless. In English, we have a few phrases to describe really clean places. You would say that it is spotless. When you clean a bathroom, you probably have, maybe you have a rag, like an old piece of cloth. Maybe you have a sponge. Maybe you have a brush. There are a number of different things you would use for cleaning a bathroom. Cleaning toilets. Yes, definitely another thing that is not on my list. It's on very low on my list of things that I like to do. I like a clean house. I love having a house that's just spotless, that's neat and tidy. We'll use it. I'll teach you a few more of those kinds of phrases at the end. But cleaning toilets, that is not fun. Cleaning toilets is definitely one of my least favorite things to do, but it needs to be done. So when you clean a toilet, you will use toilet bowl cleaner. That's the type of cleaner you will use. And you'll probably use a toilet brush, or this person has decided to use, I think that is a sponge there. It might just be a cloth actually, to clean it. Sorry, I'm just giggling because in the chat, Kaka-Chen says SpongeBob. And then Mode says, I could hear you coughing and I thought you wanted to bring some props from the kitchen to demonstrate. Yeah, no, I should have brought some props. That would have been fun today, but no props today. Cleaning toilets, no fun, but it's a job that has to be done. Doing laundry. So you could say doing laundry or washing clothes. Both of those would be equally acceptable if you're speaking English. Doing laundry is, of course, when you put the laundry in the washing machine with some detergent. So we use the word detergent to talk about the soap, basically, that we use to do laundry or to clean or wash our clothes. When you're done, you might either hang up your clothes or you might put them in the dryer to dry them. We usually hang up our clothes to save energy, because if you put your clothes in a dryer, you have to spend money on electricity to dry those clothes. But doing laundry is definitely one of your household chores. It's nice on a Monday morning to put on a clean shirt and clean clothes before you go to work or school. It's always nice to have clean clothes. Ironing. I don't do a lot of this. You can probably tell. This shirt has a few wrinkles. So you can see right here, this shirt is a bit wrinkly. So if you have a shirt that's freshly washed, if you hang it up to dry, it usually doesn't need to be ironed. But sometimes there are some wrinkles. You can see this person is ironing. I'm trying to say the word as many times as possible because it is a difficult word to say for English learners. Ironing. Ironing. I burnt my face once ironing. I think I told this story before, but when I was in college, I would start the iron and I would hold it here to see if it was hot. Yeah, I know that's a dumb thing to do. And one day when I did that, I actually accidentally touched my face, and I had a little triangle burn on my face. Thankfully, it was a very, very light burn and it went away. You can't see it, but yeah, I burned my face once with an iron. In English, the phrase we would use to describe that is "I was being stupid." That would be a good phrase to describe that. Cleaning the fridge. Now, this is something you don't do necessarily every week. This is something you might do every month. Cleaning the fridge is not something you would do every day because it doesn't get that dirty in the fridge. We clean our fridge usually about once a month. We take everything out of the fridge and we clean our fridge, and then we put everything back in. But cleaning the fridge is a nice thing to do, to have a nice, neat, and tidy fridge. Let me get a sip of water here. Cooking. So this is something you do certainly on a daily basis. You need to prepare food. One sec. Let me just check something here. You know, I'm going to go cough in the kitchen again. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. So here's a bonus word for you this morning. There's a word in English, the word phlegm, P-H-L-E-G-M. Is that what it is? Phlegm. Let me see if I'll type it in the chat. I think I spelled that right. It means you have like something in your throat and you need to cough to get it out. So sorry about that. I had a little bit of phlegm in my throat and I went to cough. Hopefully that doesn't happen again during this lesson. Let me get my handouts on the screen and we will, let's see here, household items. I'll answer a few questions. Household chores, that's what we're doing. Yes, let me see. From Ruslan. Hi, Ruslan. Hello, dear teacher Bob. What is your favorite robot vacuum brand? Do you have one? Have a nice sunny weekend, sir. I don't have a robot vacuum. I would love to have a robot lawnmower and a robot vacuum, like a Roomba, I think is one of the more common names. A Roomba is something that automatically vacuums your floor. It would be pretty fun if I had something like that. From Denis, good morning, teacher. Are you a tidy/neat person? Not really. Sort of. When you were a kid, what were your household chores? So, am I a tidy person? I like it when the house is tidy. I certainly like it when things are clean and when everything is just neat and tidy. I love it. But I don't always have enough time to do that. So we make a schedule. On the current schedule, my job is to clean the toilets. As I said, cleaning toilets is not my favorite thing, but that's my current job for the next few months and some other jobs as well. When I was a kid, my job was I had to clean my room. I had to help with dishes a little bit, although I didn't do a lot of dishes. I'm trying to think. I think I did a lot more work on the farm and less work in the house. Things were a little different back then in terms of how chores were split up between boys and girls. Things are a little more equal these days, I think, in my house. From Hamza, hello, my teacher. Simple question for today. Can you tell me, how do I know which level I am? For example, how do I know if I'm B1 or B2? So this is tricky because you have to know if you're a B1 speaker, listener, like comprehension, reader, and writer. So there's 4 different parts to it. The best thing to do is take a test. Okay, that's the best way to know what your level is. Let's see here. Judith says, hi, Bob. If your son wants to do your chores instead of you, which sentence do you say? Heaven forbid. Yeah, it's the second one. I have to do it. Yeah, you would use heaven forbid. This is a phrase we use though when we don't want something to happen. So yes, if I would say heaven forbid I have to do the chores, I'm going to make my kids do it. So it basically means you're emphasizing that you yourself don't want to do the chores. From Hung, I use a wet rag to clean off my computer screen. Is that okay? I'm going to fix that sentence there. By the way, how do you clean off electronic devices, especially computers, effectively and safely? Safely, little L instead of a T. Thanks, sir. I do the same as you. I get a cloth. We have different cleaning cloths in the kitchen. You might call it a rag as well. And I usually make it wet with just a little bit of soapy water, not too much soap. But I usually dust off my computer first. I use a dust mop or a duster. Let's see. Freddie says, don't mix up the iron and the phone when the phone rings. You could burn your ear. Yeah, definitely. Don't do that by accident. Freddie says, be careful, Bob. Une flamme peut te brûler également. Yes, definitely. Let's see. Kawa says, I heard you have a wall socket vacuum cleaner in Canada. Some people have what's called central vac, where they just have a connector in the wall that goes to a large vacuum cleaner unit in their garage or basement. It's very good. Lolly Lolly says, hello, Bob. In French, un cordon bleu means being a very good cook. Are you un cordon bleu, Bob? Well, it depends what I'm making, Lolly Lolly. It depends on, there's some meals that I do well at. I'm pretty good at making homemade pizza with homemade crust. Clean Guy says, is it true when Bob is cleaning, he becomes SpongeBob? Yes, sometimes I have a sponge in my hand and soapy water while I clean the house. From Know That. Hi, Know That. Hello, Bob. I thought I'd stop by during my break to say hello and leave you a question. What household chores do you do best or enjoy doing? Thanks in advance. By the way, your sentence is correct. I just paused there to see how to say it properly. What household chores do you do best or enjoy doing? I think I don't enjoy any of them, but I'm pretty good at all of them. I hope that makes sense. Like I have a high standard when it comes to cleaning. I don't like cleaning, but when I do actually do a cleaning job, I do a really, really good job. I like it when things look really neat and tidy. That is like spotless. I like to do a really good job. So the toilets will be very clean in our house for the next little while. Next question from Unsol, the most loving fan. Hi, Teacher Bob. In your family, going to add an ES, does everyone take turns doing housework? Or is it clear what everyone is responsible for? Are your children skilled at housework by? So we have a schedule, and everyone has a certain area that they're responsible for, I think, for the next few weeks, and then we might change it a bit. And as I said, right now, my job is I'm head toilet cleaner, chief toilet cleaner. I'm in charge. Viet says, cleaning off the roof, checking electric devices are complicated chores. Can you think of some dangerous chores that you can't do? Who will take care of it? Thanks. So maintaining a house can be considered a household chore. Like if there's an electrical outlet that isn't working, or maybe there's a sink where the tap is dripping. In those situations, I might call a professional, an electrician or a plumber to take care of that household chore. It really depends on how complicated it is. I am fairly skilled at electricity. Like I can change electrical outlets and stuff, and I know how to do that safely. But if it was like if I was installing a new oven, I would have an electrician come and do that for me so that it's done properly and safely. From Nam, do you live in big cities, Bob? Anyways, do you think that people living in cities have more or less chores than people in the countryside? Are there any big differences? I think it's about the same. I think there's different outdoor chores. So if you live in an apartment building, you don't have to mow the lawn. And little things like that. You don't have to trim the hedges or mow the lawn or those kinds of things. I think when you're in an apartment, it's the same. You're going to be vacuuming and dusting and mopping and doing all of those normal things and chores. From Marina, thank you, Mr. Bob, for this amazing lesson. In Brazil, we have a playlist only for cleaning the house. Do you also have one? We do have different playlists. We have a playlist for when we do the dishes. By the way, a playlist is a collection of songs that plays. So we do have, I think my kids do have different playlists for cleaning the house. It could really help to have a playlist. It makes you happier when you are doing it. Mode is asking Judith if they are watching Eurovision. Oh yeah, it's Eurovision time, isn't it again? Mode says, I think I'm a B1.75 speaker. Probably. You're definitely a B2 listener and probably a B2 writer and reader. I wonder if the speaking is slightly, but that would be my guess, Mode, having read a lot of what you've written and said in the chat. Mode says, yeah, not a lot of impressive singers, to be honest. It's fun, though, if you enjoy watching people put up a show on stage. Yes, I should watch a little bit of Eurovision. I missed it. I don't think I watched much of it last year. Anyways, let's get back to the lesson so we can finish this off in due time. Here we go. Cooking. So I think I've talked about cooking. Let's move on. Taking out the garbage. You might say taking out the trash. In my part of Ontario, Canada, we often use the word garbage. Some people might use the word trash if they live in a different part of Canada or the United States. But maybe on a daily basis, you take the garbage bag out of the garbage can in your kitchen and you take it and put it in a garbage can in the garage, a bigger garbage can. You might do this every 3 or 4 days. We don't take our garbage out every day. We usually do it, I think, once. Well, our garbage truck comes once a week. Again, you can replace the word garbage with trash in all of these sentences. But yeah, we usually do it once a week. If it gets full, we might take it out sooner and tie the bag off and put it in a bigger garbage can in the garage. But taking out the garbage, there's two ways to use this phrase. Taking out the garbage could mean taking it from the kitchens and bathrooms and putting it in the garage or in your basement, or maybe if you're in an apartment building, downstairs. And then you can also say on Wednesdays, we take out the garbage because the garbage truck comes and picks it up. Washing the windows. You could also say cleaning the windows. This is something we don't do very often. Maybe twice a year, we clean all of our windows inside and out. We usually do it in the spring, and we usually do it again in the fall. Our windows don't get too dirty. I think if I did live in the city, and if there was lots of traffic going by my house, lots of cars and trucks, I might clean my windows more often. But yeah, you would get, in Canada, we use something called Windex. It comes in a bottle and it's blue. And it's a special cleaner for cleaning windows. So yes, washing windows, always nice. After you're done washing the windows, you can see really nicely. After you're done cleaning the windows, it's a lot easier to see out through the window, of course. Vacuuming, another very common thing that you need to do if you want your house to be neat and tidy. A vacuum cleaner is what you use. And this basically sucks up anything that's on the floor or in your carpets. So most people own a vacuum cleaner and they use it to clean the rooms that have carpet. You might use the vacuum cleaner on a hardwood floor. I know some people will vacuum their linoleum floor or vinyl floor or hardwood floor. They'll vacuum the floor before they mop it, but we generally sweep our floor before we mop it, and we just vacuum the rooms where we have carpet. Cleaning carpets. Now this is similar to vacuuming, but this is done with a slightly different machine. In my part of the world, you can rent a carpet cleaner, which is a machine that uses soap and water to clean your carpets. We don't do this very often. We do this maybe every 5 or 10 years. It's actually been a while since we've rented a carpet cleaner. So you can go and rent a machine called a carpet cleaner, and you put special carpet cleaner solution in it, and you use it to deep clean your carpet. So it's definitely a lot better than a vacuum. it definitely does a deeper cleaning because it shoots soap and water in and sucks it back out again. Makes your carpets super clean. Cleaning the stove, cleaning the oven. So again, when you cook, food kind of bubbles and boils and splatters. There's a good word. When something splatters, like if you're cooking something in the oven, it might start to bubble and splatter. So pieces will shoot out. So you do need to clean the stove. That's the cooktop. And you do need to clean the oven like this person is doing every once in a while. So again, stove and oven are not the same thing. The stove is the cooktop where you use pots and pans to boil water or heat up soup. And the oven is where you would bake or cook things like meat or cakes and those kinds of things. But you definitely need to clean the oven. Some ovens have a self-cleaning setting. I don't find those work as good. It's where you close the oven and it heats to a really high temperature for an hour. I think it's better to actually clean the oven this way. Dusting. So we live in a dusty world. Dust is really, really fine and hard to see. There's probably dust on, there's dust on the top of my computer and my computer monitor right now. There's even dust a little bit on the top of my camera lens. And so we have to do a little bit of dusting. You need to dust every once in a while. You can use a duster to dust. You can use just a cloth. You can use a cloth to dust, but definitely before you wipe something with a wet cloth, it's always a good idea to dust first, to do a little bit of dusting to clean up that dust. I have a duster, but I don't have it right beside me right now. I'm not sure where it went. It's somewhere around here. But it's really nice to do a little bit of dusting before you wipe up with a damp cloth. Which is our next slide, wiping up. Sometimes it's just nice to get a cloth and either have some cleaner on it, or it's just a damp cloth with a bit of water, or it's a cloth with a little bit of soapy water. And you would use this to wipe up a table. You might wipe a countertop. You might wipe a tabletop. You might wipe your coffee table. You might wipe your desk. Sometimes I wipe my desk off after I dust it. And it's just a way to get it super clean and really in nice shape. I like it when my desk is totally, when I'm done wiping up my desk, it's really clean, squeaky clean. There's another way to say it. It's always nice to have your desk squeaky clean. And I don't actually do this. Jen and I don't polish our furniture, but this is something where if you have really nice furniture, you might have furniture polish. It's a special kind of spray, and then you might polish your furniture. So this is something you do after dusting, after wiping up. You might polish your furniture to make it nice and shiny and look really clean and new again. Jen and I don't do a lot of polishing because we don't have super nice furniture. I think maybe just our kitchen table, but we don't have anything super nice to polish. So no need to do that household chore at all. Doing dishes, washing dishes. So in my part of the world, we use both phrases. Doing the dishes right after supper is a good idea. It's not nice to leave the dishes in the sink because doing the dishes in the morning is not as fun. It's not nice to eat at night and then leave the dishes and then do them in the morning. So we usually do the dishes right after we eat. You could also say washing the dishes. Both phrases are totally interchangeable. Excuse me. That was a sneaky cough that just came up. But doing dishes, washing dishes, always a good idea to do that immediately. As soon as you're done eating, do the dishes, wash the dishes. Or if you're lucky, you can load or unload the dishwasher. Loading the dishwasher is when you put the dishes in the dishwasher. And then, of course, unloading the dishwasher is when you take the dry, clean dishes out of the dishwasher. I'm not sure which one this man is doing. He's either loading the dishwasher or he might be unloading the dishwasher. It's kind of hard to tell The dishes do look kind of clean, right? I don't know. Tell me in the chat what you think he's doing. Is he loading or unloading the dishwasher? I'm curious what you think. But anyways, if you have a dishwasher, you don't have to do the dishes. You don't have to wash the dishes. You just put them into the dishwasher. You load the dishwasher and run it. Although you might rinse the dishes before you put them in the dishwasher. That's always a good idea. Remove any food that is on the dishes. Making beds. This is something people generally do right away in the morning. Making beds is a good thing. It's a good thing to do when you get up. Get up and then make your bed right away. All this means is that you put the sheets and blankets back in place instead of leaving them all messed up. Maybe you're when you sleep, you toss and turn and roll around a lot, but you might want to get up and then make the bed. If you don't make the bed right away in the morning, you just have to make it before you get back in it at night, before you go to bed. So making the bed, a good household chore to do right away. Let's see. Lolly thinks he is unloading the dishwasher. There we go. Mode says probably loading the dishwasher because he's wearing an apron. Oh, that's a good point. Maybe because he's wearing an apron to keep himself clean, he might be loading it. Very good. Okay, hey, we're going to do members only chat. I'll read a few more of those comments in just a sec. Let me turn on the members only chat mode and we'll start with that. If you are a member, you can ask a question directly in the chat. And then Annie says, unloading the dishwasher, possibly. It's hard to know. Freddie says it's hard to figure out, but I guess he's loading. And Wanda says loading. So we got a lot of people suggesting that he is loading. Okay, I'm going to answer questions from the forum, as well as when questions start to pop up from members, I will answer them directly. From Etienne, I cannot do anything until my space is clean and tidy. Are you the same way, Bob? So my desk, let's see here. My main desk right here needs to be fairly neat and tidy for me to work. Sometimes there's some paperwork at this end, but generally, I know there's a few cables and stuff. It's a little hard for you guys to see, but generally, I have to have my desk neat and tidy. The room doesn't need to be neat and tidy. That's not as big of a concern for me, but definitely I like to have my desk neat and tidy before I can get work done. Trolley says, hi, Teacher Bob. In what situation should I say, I'll wash off my car and I'll dust off my car? Do you use any other phrases to talk about that action? Thank you, sir. So generally in English, you would say, I'm going to wash my car. That's really the only phrase I would use. I'm going to go to town and I'm going to wash my car, or I'm going to get a pail of water, soapy water, and a hose, and I'm going to wash my car. We don't generally dust our car off, although in some parts of the world you might do that. Here we usually just wash our car. And we don't usually use wash off. I'm going to wash off my car. Like if there's mud on your car, you might say, I'm going to wash the mud off my car. But generally we just use the term to wash your car. I'm going to wash my car. Anton says, hi, Teacher Bob. Do you sort and recycle in Canada? I'm not sure about the word after recycle, but do you sort and recycle in Canada? Yes, we do. So we recycle paper, plastic, metal. Everything gets sorted when it goes to the road, and compost as well. So organic matter goes in one bin as well. From the chat, Lolly says, cooking every day is not a chore for me. It's a pleasure, even a hobby. Yes, it is very nice. I love the smell of cooking. And I think I've mentioned this before. I think it's an important part of being healthy. I think you should smell your food as it cooks. And then Hafiaz says he's just admiring his pans. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, he's not loading or unloading. He's just like, this is a really nice frying pan. That's what he's thinking. Ralph says waste equals waste. Oh, waste in Canada. Yes, good guess, Ralph. I think that is correct. So do you sort and recycle waste in Canada? Yeah, we do. Hafiaz, wash off my car sounds like the car would disappear after vigorous washing. Yes. And then Mode says, I'd say my least favorite chore is doing the dishes. And the only thing keeping me from saying cleaning the toilet is because I don't have to do it as often. Yeah, that's the thing about dishes, right? You have to do the dishes once a day or multiple times a day, and that makes it less enjoyable. Cleaning the toilet's actually not too bad. It's a pretty fast job if you think about it. From Younts, sometimes my mom asks me to take out the garbage or do the dishes, and I don't do it on time, and my mom will be angry. Oh, I had the same experience as a child. My mom I wouldn't say angry. She would be annoyed. So if I didn't do my chores on time, if I didn't do my household chores, my mom would get frustrated with me. From the chat, Freddie Wolf says, Bob, do you have a special trash container for food scraps to make compost to fertilize some of the plants and flowers in the house? Merci beaucoup de ta réponse. Oui, un peu, mais aussi on a des poulets. We also have chickens. So our food waste sorting is a little different. We have a special pail for kitchen scraps, we call them, that will go to the chickens. So if we have the tops from carrots, there are a number of things like banana peels that go into the chicken bucket. And then we take those and feed those to the chickens. Everything else goes into a small compost pail. And when that's full, it goes into a larger green compost pail, which we take to the road. So that would be things like leftover yogurt or old cheese that has mold, like things that we can't compost nicely on the farm. Maybe some ham or meat that's gone bad. We would put that into the bigger compost. It's hard to compost meat and dairy safely. So Wanda says, hi, Teacher Bob. Is it common in Canada to hire someone to help with household chores? Thanks. Some people do. Like some people will hire a house cleaner. I know there are some members of my family that have a house cleaner. Sometimes if you're married and both the husband and wife have jobs where they work long hours, they might hire a house cleaner to do some of the cleaning. Steve says, I just washed my house. It's very cool. It's nice when you clean your house and it's nice and clean. And just so you know, Zeev, we generally use the word clean. So you would say, I just cleaned my house. It's all neat and tidy. Let me get another question over here. I don't know the answer to this one. How many, little switch there, how many years does it take to get citizenship in Canada for a family? So I don't actually know the answer to this, but if you do a search, I'm sure you can find the answer to that question. Jeremy says, hello, Teacher Bob. You've mentioned the phrase taking out the garbage. Can I also say throw out the garbage? Which one is better? No. So when you throw something out, it means you're putting it in a garbage can. Like I'm going to pick up the garbage and I'm going to make sure you throw out your garbage on the way out of the room. But when you take out the garbage, it means you're taking the garbage bag out of the garbage can and bringing it somewhere else. Freddie says, Bob, who is in charge to clean the inside of your vans? No one. The inside. I think I cough when I laugh. Have you noticed that? Sorry about that. No one. We're all really messy. The inside of our vans. I think Jen and I are in charge of cleaning out our vans, but we don't do it as often as we should. When I was a kid, we would clean out the car every Saturday and wash the car. My dad liked to do that, but I don't do that. I probably should do it more often. From Victor, hi Bob. Hi Victor. What goes first, vacuuming or dusting? It's a controversial topic. Like what goes first, the chicken or the egg? I always dust before I mop. I don't dust before I vacuum. Yeah, I've never thought about that. Like I definitely dust before I would dust a bit before I mop and dust a bit before I wipe up. But yeah, that's a good question. Very good question. Pedro says, hi, Bob. How's it going? I'm a bit late, but I just want to thank you for the lesson today. Bye. I'm mopping my house while watching the live. Bye. Well, I hope the mopping is going good. I guess watching the live is part of your entertainment while you do your household chores. Very cool. Hey, I'm going to turn off members only chat and we are going to finish off this lesson. Give me a minute here to find the right button. Let me have a sip of water and we will Um, let's see here. Let me make sure everything's working. Yes. Freddie says, Bob, reste avec nous, ne nous quitte pas. Yes, I will not leave. Let me finish this off. What do we got? 20 minutes? I think I can be done in 20 minutes or sooner. Spring cleaning. So this is something that is obviously only done once a year. This is when you clean in the spring, usually for us because winter is over and we start to open our windows in the spring. The weather is nicer. We usually do a thorough cleaning of our house, and this is called spring cleaning. So you open the windows, you wash the floors extra good. You just do a really, really good job. Maybe you wash the windows or clean the windows, but spring cleaning is definitely one of the things that I don't enjoy, but I love it when we're done spring cleaning. We haven't actually done any spring cleaning here this year. We should probably do a bit of spring cleaning before the busyness of summer begins. Tidying up. So there are a number of different ways to talk about the act of just making sure everything's in the right spot. So you might say you're going to do some tidying up. You're going to be putting things away. You're going to be cleaning the house, or you're going to be straightening up. I think those are the four. Let me just peek at the next one. Yeah. So tidying up is simply, maybe there's stuff on the floor and it all needs to be picked up. I'm not sure why this person has pizza on the floor. Maybe they just had a party. But tidying up means there's stuff on the floor, maybe on tables, that isn't where it's supposed to be. And so you are going to pick everything up. You're going to pick up the garbage and put it in the garbage can. You're going to pick up other things and put them away as well. Put them where they are supposed to be. So you might say to a friend, don't come over right away. I have to do some tidying up. So come in an hour. And that means maybe you have to pick some things up. Putting things away, I think, is fairly obvious. When you take things off the shelves, maybe you take a book off the shelf, maybe you have all of your remote controls go in a special little basket by your couch so that when you watch TV, you can find them. But putting things away simply means everything has a place and you're going to put everything in its place. In my room, my one camera sits here all the time. My other camera sits here. I charge my stuff over there by that computer. So if I was to come to this room and it was a bit messy, I would put things away. I would put things where they need to be. Cleaning the house. We talked about this briefly earlier. This is the general term for household chores that are about cleaning. So not every household chore is related to cleaning. But when you say, oh, I'm busy Saturday morning, we're going to be cleaning the house for a couple hours, why don't you come for lunch? So you're just telling people that you're going to be making sure everything is clean in your house. You're probably going to vacuum. You're going to do a lot of things like that. And Vitor in the chat is using the word decluttering. That is another good word for decluttering. Means to get rid of things that you don't need as well. And then straightening up. This simply means maybe you like to have everything very orderly. So maybe in your kitchen you have coffee and tea in nice jars, and maybe they've been moved a little bit. You're going to put them exactly back where you want them. This person is straightening up. He's putting the books back on the shelf properly, where they're supposed to go. Now, a few other random things. Shaking out the rug or mat is another part of household chores. Usually by someone's front door, they will have a mat inside the front door. And that mat gets a little bit of mud and dust and maybe little stones on it because you're coming in with your shoes or boots on from the outside. And so generally you take that outside and you shake it. So shaking out the rug or shaking out the front mat is another thing that you will do when you are doing household chores. Emptying the litter box. If you have a cat, the cat has to eat and then something else happens that the cat has to do, and they do it in the litter box. Basically, your cat has to pee and poop. And so you have somewhere in your house a litter box, and you need to clean the litter box every once in a while. You need to empty the litter box. And you usually have a special scoop for that so that you can scoop out the cat pee and the cat poop. If you don't do this, eventually your house will not smell good. It will smell horrible. So it's nice to have pets. It's nice to have things. It's nice to have cats, but you do need to empty the litter box every once in a while. Changing the sheets. So when you make the bed, it means that you are, the sheets and blankets that are on the bed, you're just putting them back so they're smooth and tidy. But you do want to change the sheets every once in a while. Changing the sheets is something you might do once a week. You take off the sheets that you've used for 7 days and you put new sheets on the bed. Sorry, clean sheets on the bed. They might be new, but clean sheets. And then the other ones will go into the laundry. We usually change our sheets once a week. That's pretty standard. Some people change their sheets every other day. Some people, I think, change their sheets once a month. There's a variety of schedules for changing sheets. Watering the plants is another chore that needs to be done. If you don't water the plants, they don't survive. So it's important to take some time to water plants and don't overwater them. Plants don't like to be overwatered. That's when you give them too much water. But watering the plants, Jen waters the plants, and my one daughter waters the plants. I'm not good at watering plants. I usually give them too much water. Apparently I have the same picture here. That wasn't what was supposed to be here, but that's a mistake. But you want everything to be neat and tidy. You want everything to be spotless. You want everything to be squeaky clean. You want everything to be clean as a whistle. So we have a few phrases in English that we use to talk about what our house looks like after we've done all our household chores. It's really nice when your house is neat and tidy. I use the word spotless as well. You know how when you wash the tap in a sink, it's all shiny and there's no dots or spots on it. But it's nice when things are squeaky clean, like so clean that it's almost like your finger makes a squeaky noise when you go along with your finger. And it's nice when things are clean as a whistle. So just really, really clean. This lady's cleaning her kitchen and it looks like it's clean as a whistle. There's a whistle for you. I don't know where these phrases come from, but they are definitely phrases we use to talk about when things are really clean. Well, hey, that is the end of this lesson. I'm going to go over here and cough for a sec. Excuse me. It's not as bad as it sounds. Sorry about that again. Hey, let me finish off the questions and then we will be done this lesson. It looks like I have a few to do. This is from the Avril Lavigne fan. Avril Lavigne is a Canadian singer, by the way. Hi, when I want to say I made a lazy clean just to get some visitors in my house, there's an expression for it. Hope you understand. Cheers from Brazil. We would probably say we're just going to do a quick cleaning, or we're going to do a once over. So I don't know if that's an actual English phrase, but it's a phrase Jen and I do. We just do a once over. We kind of look over the house quickly and straighten some things up, tidy up. But we would probably say, I'm just going to do a quick tidy up. I'm just going to do a quick cleaning, or I'm just going to give everything a once over. So I maybe I'm not going to clean the whole toilet, but I might clean the toilet bowl and the lids quickly. If someone said, hey, I'll be there in 3 minutes, and you're like, the house is a mess, you might give it a good once over. So let's see here from the chat. Let me get my glasses here. What materials do you recommend to get past the intermediate plateau? I can understand pretty much everything natives say, but when it comes to speaking, I struggle a lot to put two sentences together. You need a speaking partner, and you probably need to be up to almost 2 hours a week of practice. If you can understand everything I say, but you're struggling with the speaking, you should really, there's a link to Preply in the description below, but you should find someone to speak to regularly. Mode says, we all know that minivans are like the junk drawers of the road. They are. There's a lot of stuff in our minivan. And then Mode also says, disco ball, confetti all over the floor. That was most certainly a party. Yep. That was the lady who was tidying up, right? Is that the picture that tidying up after a party. Let's see here. Good Water says cold water is not good to clean the house. No, we usually use warm or hot water, as hot as possible. Yes. Unglan says, Bob, you haven't read my question above. Yeah, I generally don't read questions from the chat because it goes by too quickly. So sorry about that. Uglan says, my children and adults should learn every morning to make beds. Definitely. And then Uglan says, dishwasher loading or unloading? He loads the dishwasher. Good guess. Definitely good guess. So sorry I missed that in the chat, but the chat does go a little too quickly sometimes. Ali says, I think the alternative word for the sheet is linen, isn't it? Yeah, here we say we change the sheets. Like those are the thinner blankets on a bed. Yeah, that goes right on the mattress. And then the first thin blanket as well is a sheet. And then duvets and comforters are what you use to keep you warm in bed. Yeah. So duvets and comforters are definitely thicker blankets. Thanks, Mode, for adding to that. Yeah. Hey, let's wrap this up, everybody. I think we're good. I think I got all the questions answered. Let me just check if there are any more. Freddie Wolf says, hi, hey Bob, I just want to highly thank you for this clean lesson. À bientôt, à très vite. Yes. See you, Freddie. Thanks for that last comment. I think we'll end on that. I think that is the last comment of the day. Thanks for watching. By the way, there will not be a live lesson tomorrow. Sorry about that. I'll restart everything in June. So there will be a new video on Tuesday, live lesson next Friday, but I am going to hold off. As you can tell, I still have a tiny bit of a cough. Yes. Oh, and then Freddie's asking, yes, if you are interested, I don't want to mention this too many times because, let me see here. If you are interested, thanks Freddie for mentioning that. Here is a link to Jen's channel. So for some of you know this, some of you don't, but Jen does have a YouTube channel. You can check it out if you want. I'm not going to mention it every time. There's no point in that. But if you are interested in flowers, if you like the farm, go have a look at Jen's channel. I think you will enjoy it. Let's see here. Where are we at? I think we're done, aren't we? Bye, everybody. Have a great week. I hope that you have a good weekend. I'm jealous, again, for of those of you who are already done work for the day or school. That's kind of cool, but yeah, I still have to go. So anyways, bye. Have a good day. Should I say bye to people in the actual chat? Yes, I should. Bye to Lolly Lolly, Ulia, Ralph, Kawakawa, Ugulahan, Kakachen, Mode Eggs. Mode says, thanks so much for the lesson and thanks everyone for the chat. See you next week. Yeah, awesome, Mode. Thanks for being here. That's great. Uglin says, thank you for live streaming video. I really find it useful to boost my English. No problem. Sudabe says, thanks, Bob. Kakachen says, bye, everyone. Ulia says, thank you so much for the great lesson. Wanda says, bye, Teacher Bob. Bye, everyone, says Judith. Bye, everybody. And Etienne says, oh, wow, I love farming and gardening content. Yes, you should have a look, Etienne. It is there for you to look at if you are interested. Let me see here. What am I doing? Back over here. Freddie says, bye, Bob and everyone. Bye, Chiwei. Bye, Deshadantre. Bye, Judith. I'm really saying the names badly, aren't I? Anyways, bye, everybody. Have a good day. I'm going to go teach some business and French classes and hopefully have a nice afternoon. I'll have a nap later today, I think. We'll see. Bye.